So Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is the third film of the Harry Potter film franchise, and as y'all can imagine, it being adapted from, well, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Although, unlike the Sorcerer's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban was directed by Alfonso Cuarón, the same filmmaker who brought us films like A Little Princess, Gravity, Children of Men, and Roma. We once again follow our golden trio, Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, who are once again portrayed by Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watts, and Rupert Grint. As the three of them return to Hogwarts for the third year, Harry soon learns that there's a killer on the loose who has escaped from Azkaban, who has a keen interest in, you guessed it, Harry Potter. Before I continue on with my review, welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming to my channel for the very first time, hit the subscribe button and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, but also my journey in reviewing all the Harry Potter films before my ranking hits in November. I have a lot of reactions and reviews coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And for those of you coming back to my channel, welcome back. I'm happy to see your faces once again. And also, really quick before I continue on as well, let's start our conversation below. What is your favorite scene in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? Let me know below. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Excellent!
You guys have no idea how excited I am to be talking about The Prisoner of Azkaban again. I say again because for those of you who have been following me for a very long time, about 10 years ago, can you believe that? It's been 10 years since I first reviewed Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. To say that I love Prisoner of Azkaban is kind of an understatement. I don't just love this movie, guys. I adore The Prisoner of Azkaban. Ever since I saw this movie back when I was a kid, this movie cast a spell on me that has never worn off at any time, even my subsequent rewatches of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, especially a couple of days ago, my prep for reviewing this movie for you all watch this movie review today. This is a movie that no matter how many times I have seen this movie, it feels like I'm watching it again for the very first time. All of the performances here are once again wonderful. Whether it's Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Emma Watts as Hermione Granger, Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley, Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy, Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, not to mention as well Maggie Smith as McGonagall, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But as you all can imagine, I do have to give some special praise, well, not really special praise, but really praise altogether for the new cast members of the franchise. The first person being Michael Gambon as Albus Dumbledore. Richard Harris did a phenomenal job of portraying Albus Dumbledore in Sorcerer's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets in R.I.P. because he brought such a grand interpretation of Albus Dumbledore from his own standpoint. I can only imagine the pressures that Michael Gambon faced and stepping into those shoes that Richard Harris had. But my god, did Michael Gambon absolutely crush it. One thing that I really appreciate about how Michael Gambon approached Dumbledore is that he didn't try and do an imitation of Richard Harris. Michael Gambon came in and gave his own interpretation that never felt either disrespectful and imitation, but just simply put, giving his own take on Dumbledore, and I thought that Michael Gambon did a phenomenal job. Also, David Thewlis, I think I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, who portrays Remus Lupin, the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. And by the way, I want to give a statement. Besides Mad-Eye Moody, who by the way I absolutely loved in Goblet of Fire, which that review is coming next month, I firmly believe that Remus Lupin is the best Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher that the franchise has had to offer, and I firmly believe that. David Thewlis, I thought, did such a wonderful job of portraying this teacher, and I absolutely love this connection with Harry, especially knowing that well, knowing his connection, not only him, but his father and his connection to Sirius Black. And I love this chemistry with Daniel Radcliffe. The two of them I thought were great together, and I loved the bond that he had with Harry Potter in this film. As y'all can imagine, guys, the next person that I must talk about is Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. He really does give a first impression of going like, oh my god, he wants to kill this kid. But oh my god, the way how the tables turned when it was revealed his actual intentions in the film. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed for a second that he wasn't after Harry, but it was really after Scabbers, aka Peter Pettigrew. By the way, Timothy Spall, brilliant job by the way as Peter Pettigrew, but still, Gary Oldman I thought was wonderful as Sirius Black. Prisoner of Azkaban is a movie that I love everything about. So from here on out, I mean, as if I wasn't doing it already, I'm just gonna be gushing about every single thing that I love about this movie. So ready for the gush fest? Here we go. One of the things that I absolutely love, or I should say this, that I adore about this movie is Alfonso Cuarón's directing. If you're a filmmaker that brings style into the way how he directs, Alfonso Cuarón did everything when it came to bringing in style and telling a great story while adapting a book. By the way, the screenplay by Steve Kloves is absolutely brilliant to watch. I'll talk about a little bit, but still, the way that Alfonso Cuarón moves the camera in some certain sequences which are done in one shot, which I love one-shot take sequences, and Alfonso Cuarón is the master at it. I will accept nothing else. This man is one of my favorite filmmakers working today, and he did such a phenomenal job of bringing the story to life and really directing some of the most magical sequences of the entire, not only the film, but the entire franchise, to which I'll get to my favorite scenes in just a little bit. Alfonso Cuarón did such a wonderful job of not only taking over the franchise from Christopher Columbus, but steering this franchise into where it needed to go. Bringing the franchise to the darker side of everything, but still retaining the joy and the wondrous world of the wizarding world, really. Steve Kloves did such a wonderful job of adapting this book. Now, I will say this, are there some omissions that I wish were in the movie? Sure. But at the same time, with those omissions being said, Steve Kloves still did a wonderful job of taking what he could do from the book and putting it into like, what, a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. I have to talk about how gorgeous this movie looks. This movie was shot by Michael Sorensen. This is the same man who brought us, by the way, Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes, so you know this movie is going to look great, and my god, Michael Sorensen's cinematography here is not only gorgeous, it's beautiful. While Prisoner of Azkaban does start to set in the moody lighting and the darker lighting for all the Harry Potter films to come, Michael Sorensen still showcases a movie that's full of beautiful, and I mean gorgeous cinematography, especially when it comes down to the blues, the greens, and sometimes even the reds in some certain sequences. There are so many shots in this movie that, again, are, well, magical. I'm going to say that word a lot, just so what you guys know, not just for the first three reviews, but continuing on, just what you all know in case that gets a little annoying, I'm going to say it because, again, it's magical. Alfonso Cuarón's directing combined with Michael Sorensen's cinematography and what you have here is, at least in my opinion, the most gorgeous looking Harry Potter film. Well, aside from Half-Blood Prince, because that really is a gorgeous looking film to look at, but still, who's the next person I must talk about? And, of course, as y'all can imagine, that is other than the GOAT himself, John Williams. For the last film that he composes in the franchise, he went off, at least in my personal opinion, with the best score of the entire franchise. The Prisoner of Azkaban score, to say the least, it's godlike. I would say magical again, and I could, but it is a god tier score. There is a sequence in this movie. I'm about to cry right now because this. So I'm about to get a little emotional right here. There is a particular moment, which I'm going to save this part for last, when I talk about my favorite scenes in this movie. It's wonderful. It's my favorite score of the entire franchise. One of the things I noticed about The Prisoner of Azkaban is just how briskly paced this movie is. Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban is a 2-hour and 20-minute movie, and this movie flies like the Thunderbolts broom. Pun intended, but you know what? I need to make a connection to one of the broomsticks somehow in this movie. There is never a dull moment in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, Prisoner of Azkaban is not only exciting, it's engaging, and it's not only so well made that it just flies by like a thunderbolt broom. Like, it goes by quickly. The VFX in Prisoner of Azkaban hold up to this day, especially the VFX on Buckbeak. That creature still looks majestic to this day. I mean, my god, what a beautiful looking creature, seriously. One of the things I loved about this movie, and I guess it's because I'm a massive horror fan, I absolutely love the fact that they bring a kind of a horror element to this movie, especially knowing with the Dementor aspect of this movie, because man, those Dementors not only look scary, but holy crap, are those things so cool to look at. I can't not do a video on this movie and now talk about my favorite sequences in this movie, so spoiler by the way for those of you who haven't seen this movie, but really, if you haven't seen Prisoner of Azkaban, seriously, watch the damn movie. It's incredible. I mean, more than incredible, it's a phenomenal piece of filmmaking. What can I say? One of my favorite sequences of the entire film is the night bus sequence. Oh my god. Not only is the sequence, again, filled with so much style, but the comedy in this movie, the night bus scene, is so much fun and is brilliant. One of my other favorite sequences in this movie, Buckbeak's flight. When Harry flies Buckbeak, holy shit. That moment when Buckbeak just glides his paw across the water and Harry just goes, oh, when he's having the time of his life. That moment, along with another moment I can best describe as like this. Magical. Another moment that I must talk about is the ridiculous class. There is a moment, not the ridiculous class, but the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. The first time we see R.J. Lupin teaching a Defense Against the Dark Arts class with the ridiculous charm. There is one in this movie where Draco does this.
This class is ridiculous.
And admittedly, when he did this, I immediately thought this.
Shut up, bitch!
There is a moment in this movie where, my god, karma comes back at Draco. And then, of course, it's the moment where Hermione finally gets to punch Draco. That kid got what he deserved. Tom Felton, I absolutely love you as Draco Malfoy, but that character got what he fucking deserved. One of my other favorite moments in the movie was when Harry finally casts the Patronus charm and the memory he thought of before he was able to finally do it. I don't know why, but this time when I saw it, I actually teared up because it's such a powerful moment that it's a memory that Harry doesn't even know if it's real, but it's a moment that gives him the power and the love and the happiness that he needs to take down the Dementors when he finally really does. Now it is time to talk about not just one of my favorite sequences of this movie, and it's not only my favorite sequence of this movie, but it's one of my favorite scenes that I have ever seen in a movie. And before I even say anything, I can guarantee that many comments are gonna say, really? A Harry Potter film does this for you? Get the fuck out of here. Every single time I see this scene, it's like I watch it for the very first time all over again. It's the scene where Harry casts the Patronus charm to save himself in Sirius Black. It's honest to God a sequence that every time I see it, I get chills galore, and I still think, holy shit! The way that Alfonso Cuarón directs it, the way with all the acting, the visual effects, the cinematography, John Williams' score, it is all combined into really one of my favorite sequences I have ever seen in my time watching films. Like, it is a brilliant scene, and I cannot stop praising it. There is a thing about this scene that I didn't even realize. Notice how Sirius only has one Dementor on it, but Harry has two? I saw this thing, and I didn't even connect the dots until after I finally heard about this. Do you guys know why Harry has two Dementors on him? One of them is on Harry's soul, because here's the thing. They're sucking out souls. That's the Dementor's purpose. One of them is sucking out Harry's soul, and one of them is getting out Voldemort's soul, because as you guys know, Harry Potter himself is a Horcrux, and a Horcrux, which we do soon learn in Half-Blood Prince, is a thing that has a bit of Voldemort's soul in them. I was fucking mind-blown, and I just thought, holy crap. Holy crap! But once I saw that, it truly blew my mind.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Now, guys, I have no issues with this movie whatsoever. Just to be clear, there is a thing that I thought of and I just thought, holy crap, I only wonder what could have happened. If y'all have been following Alfonso Cuarón's career, Alfonso Cuarón's usual DP is Emmanuel Lubitsky, who is, in my opinion, the best cinematographer working today alongside Roger Deakins. Michael Sorensen shot a beautiful and a gorgeous looking film, but I can't help but think, what if What if Emmanuel Lubitsky shot Prisoner of Azkaban?
And here we go.
So overall, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is a movie that I just love. I adore Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban isn't just my favorite film of the franchise. This movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Specifically, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. All in all, as y'all can imagine, I am absolutely going to give Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban a 6 out of 5. Guys, I could just ramble on and on about how much I love this movie, but guys, I fucking adore Prisoner of Azkaban. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. If so, please hit that like button, or if you disliked it, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see my previous 2 videos, please click the right there or right there. And of course, until my next review video goes live, I will see you all next time.